Hello, everyone. It is another Monday, which means it's time for another edition of Real Estate Talk with Jay. And one of the things I wanted to go over was a little bit different perspective on the monthly video I did last week. If you missed that one, I will put a link to it. Now we'll do it right here so you can watch it. But quick summaries, we saw, many things went up. Pending sales were up, prices were up. So a lot of things that indicating that our market is still in a pinch for inventory, and which is causing prices to move up, despite even the small gains of inventory that we've had. However, one of these things is not like the other. Two things I didn't get to show you was time on market and also the absorption rate. So we're going to start out by talking about those and what they mean. So let's get started. If we look at time on market, now our MLS counts this time from the date a home or property was listed to the date it closed, not the date it went under contract. So total time on market is up over 20% compared to last year. At the same time, the absorption rate, which is simply a function of how many homes are on the market versus the average monthly sales pace, this gives you a rate in the number of months. So basically, if we stop listing homes today, on average, how long would it take us to run out of inventory? You can see that number is up over 30% from last year. So while the majority of other indicators are moving us deeper into a seller's market, you can see that there is a few signs that things are softening a bit because it is taking longer to get homes sold than during the craziness. But honestly, this is about normal for pre-pandemic sales. Seeing times like 60, 70, 80 days on market was not uncommon. And while as absorption rate, that number, it is up over 30%, but it's still deep in seller's market territory. So we want to see that rate between 5 to 6 months for it to be considered a balanced market. Anything over 6 months or 7 months is a buyer's market, and anything below 5 months is considered a seller's market. So you can see we're still deep in a seller's market, but we are moving our way closer towards the middle, even though it seems like we're moving at a sales pace. So that's a couple things that just show a little bit of softening in the hectic pace of our market. Now, what do you say we take a quick look at the weekly stats? So if we take a quick look at, as far as the number of listings, number of new listings is up, the number of active listings for sale is up, so our inventory seems to be climbing still. Number of pending listings are up, but the number of closings are down. Now that's not uncommon for the first week of the month because people try to bunch up closings on the last week of the month, which means that the first week after the end of the month, or usually the first week of the next month, however you want to say that, if I can get tongue tied, is typically a slower week to have closings. You'll start to see them picking up next week and the week after as we get towards the end of June. The other thing that's up, prices. So you can see listing prices are continuing their upward trajectory and sales prices are continuing to move up. Now we saw a big jump last week, and that appears to be because of a $1 million plus, several $1 million plus closing or two that happened last week. So that's obviously going to skew those numbers up. Again, we look at these weekly numbers as just kind of raw data to give us a general picture of where the market's more moving. The monthly data gives us much more of a measured view of the market, and then the quarterly data. So obviously the longer time frame we get, the better idea of what's exactly happening. But I like giving you the weekly stats because it kind of gives you a running on the ground look at what's going on. So I hope that you found that information helpful. I'm trying to make this video fairly short. As always, if you know of anybody looking to buy or sell real estate in Northeast Tennessee or Southwest Virginia, I would love to be their first call so that I can sit down with them and see how I can help them achieve their goal of either selling a property or buying a new property. So that is it for this week. We'll see you next week.